I put a link in the description, an article that I thought was well done in terms of the history associated with the walls of Jericho. Back in the 19th century, Kathleen Kenyon and others excavated the site where Jericho is located, but they misdated the events that they determined based on their findings. And so it took several more excavations before they could actually realize, what had happened and when it had happened. And they have found piles of collapsed brick all around the city. Okay, just like the Bible describes. The Bible describes how the Israelites set fire to the city. And all through the city of Jericho, you find a layer of burnt ash. Further, the Bible describes how the spies came to Rahab, the prostitute. We read about it here briefly, because she helped them to escape. But it says in the Bible that her house was located within the walls of Jericho. So people have thought, well, how could she have lived in the walls? She didn't die when the other people died, when the walls collapsed. Well, of course, they could have told her just not to be in the walls. But the fact is, they have found homes right up against the wall, an 8-foot section of a wall on one side of Jericho, which is considered like a slum district based on its location and the fact that in a war it would be very impractical location. So it fits with the idea that Rahab had a house in the walls in an area where prostitutes would be, exactly like the Bible describes. So the walls, the mounds, the wall mounds all around the city are there. The layer of burnt ash from the fire is there. And Rahab's house. Not only that, but the Bible says that before they invaded Jericho, it was right after the time when the inhabitants of Jericho had reaped their harvest. So they had all their harvest food to in their minds, outlast the siege. And they have found in Jericho, you can see pictures of them if you look at the article that and in other articles, but they show actual pictures of the grain jars filled as if they had just reaped their harvest. Every single detail the Bible describes about Jericho that can be verified has been verified. And it has all come back to support the biblical account.